www.oghuskyradio.com. Radiotron 2019, exclusive interviews, returning cast members and shit.
Yes.
Who we got up in the spot? Let them know, man.
It's an all deadly, merciless, medley, GIZZM, high definition.
Word up, man. What you doing here today, man?
I'm out here to do a little performance and enjoy this b-boy event, ultimately.
For those that don't know, you date pretty far back in Los Angeles hip-hop.
Yes.
Let them know a little bit.
Old school stuff?
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I mean, I started rapping in 7th grade, but I cut my first record in 1991 running with a group called The Unit with MC TNT. MC TNT was actually throwing down at the original Radiotrons back with Kid Frost and Ice-T and all them back in the days. But he was the dude that took me under his wing. He met me at a record store that I was DJing, that I used to like basically just sell records and DJ, and I was rhyming. He heard me spit at 16. He was like, yo, you should come roll with us and go with us on these tours. And I got approval from my parents to take off for like a week at a time. And we were doing lowrider car shows. You know, we were on the Volume 2 soundtrack on Thump Records with the group called The Unit. It was me, TNT, Seth, and some other cats. And from there, we got hooked up with Art Laboe, oldies but goodies, Art Laboe, and he hooked us up on the original sound, and we put out some singles, and we kept touring and doing shows with like Malaman Ace, Kid Frost, Lighter Shade of Brown. It was, early 90s.
Because for the most part, like my generation on is like, we know you as an All Deadly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when I first discovered that it went even farther, I was like, it makes a lot of sense. Like this fool knows a little bit more than the average, you know what I mean?
My original MC name was Too Sweet back in the days from The Unit. And then it evolved. I heard about the Good Life, and I was a battle MC, so I was rolling up to the Good Life in 1993. I kept going, doing different songs and testing out my joints, and I was basically earning my respect from a whole different clique on the other side of I was from SGV.
He's from SGV. Back then it was like, it wasn't I know the internet connects us all together, but we actually had to go out and connect with each other. So for him to be like, I went from SGV to like Lamert is like a big thing.
It was a mission, man. I had to drive an hour and 15 minutes on the freeway in a Hyundai.
So that's the Good Life. But where'd your connection come with Radiotron?
Well, Radiotron, actually, I want to say it was after all the Good Life Project Blow stuff started blowing up. I want to say around 1996, I got booked through Little Caesar and Mr. Animation to perform at the Radiotron. I was already going to the previous ones that we're doing for with the B-boy battles. I did like a set back then, and every time they had an event, it was just if a Radiotron was going down, I was there.
Man,
whether it be MCing or checking out the
B-boys
B-boys battle.
A lot of the foundation of what we consider now the hip hop in Los Angeles, bro. Like that's what I wanted to make that known for the average people that, you know what I mean, or if they haven't heard of you, if that, but anyone involved in hip hop, as we saw earlier, like knows. You know what I mean? What's the newest project, or what's the project you have out right now?
I have 2 new projects dropping. One of them right now is the Robert and Robert album, which is me and this dude from New York, Novo the Ray. We got tracks produced by TRT from Soul Assassins, who just passed away, and Omega One and Apocalypse, as far as the production is concerned. But it's me and my dude Novo the Ray. The album's called Paradigm Shift, Robert and Robert, that's dropping this summer. Then I also have another album with me and Soul King from the Liquid Crew. That album's called Imperial Highway Triple OG on West Coast Creations, with production by mostly by C1. We also got So Dope 95 on the track. The other homie DJ Prems from Sweden. We got features from Born Alive, Stylistic Jones.
I'm going to show it. I'm going to edit it in after, but I just got to show that. I'll edit in the better, clearer picture.
That's graphics.
The cover, man.
The cover is artwork that was painted by Hex One.
Where did the connection with Hex come about?
I met Hex back in 1991 when I was rolling with TNT and The Unit at the hip hop shop when they had first opened it up on Melrose. And so, I mean, that connect back then, we gave him a record. He had to sign the autographs of the record, and they had it on the wall. So every time I shot back out to the SGV and brought like a girl to go shopping on Melrose, or anytime I made a Melrose mission, I would stop by and I bring him in there and show, look, that's my record on the wall with my autograph.
So is there anything in LA?
Back then, it was LA's first real, actually it was the only hip hop shop where you can go and buy fat caps, hip hop like gear, and
man, the more I talk to you, the more I find out how you're involved with a lot of the grassroots upcoming foundations, what we consider LA hip hop now, bro. It's always an honor to fucking get you behind that mic, man.
And when I went to the hip hop shop back then, Zulu Gremlin was working there, Steve, who was part of Latin Alliance. Yeah. Also, Raka from Dilated Peoples was behind the counter, Marv Ski. I mean, I got beats from Zulu Gremlin from back then. We were doing something. And I was performing off of his beats at the Good Life.
OGHuskyRadio.com, I'm telling you. Give them the contact. They get all the new releases, all that stuff.
I would say check me out on Instagram at GIZZM High Def, JIZZM HIGEDEF.
Word up, man. Thank you always, man. Always looking
It's always an honor, man. Husky Radio's been putting it down for years.
Oh, man, we're trying to get to you, man. We're trying to catch up. I'm telling you, every time I interview, bro, though, it just amazes me, bro, like more and more how much you've held it down, man. Keep it up, bro.
Word up. Keep on rocking. Husky Radio, GIZZM High Definition, Radiotron.
Stay posted.